evening. So yesterday we pulled out the swather. This is a 2016 McDon 35-foot header M155. We call him Donny. We do name almost all of the machinery we have. It just keeps it a little more light, a little more fun. The kids really like it, so, and I don't mind it either. So this guy, he's Donny. We bought him brand new in 2016. We upgraded from our two John Deere swathers that were like 1988s and 1992s or whatever they were. We had two of them. They were 22 feet. We were just getting to a point where we were doing too much. At that time, we were doing too much peas and canola. Also, we started growing more canola, and canola, there's a lot of people switching to straight cutting their canola. We're really not on board with that. So up here, mostly the canola gets swapped. So a new swather was handy. There's not an infinite make of swathers, and in fact, when I was doing the research on this one, the salesman at Case told me like right out, he's like, yeah, even we sell McDon swathers, don't buy a Case one. So if you have a Case one and you love it, I don't know, I've never ran one, they maybe are great. The New Holland guy, we actually bought this at a New Holland dealership. They said, yeah, don't buy our swather. So right off the hibbity hop. And then the one big thing to note, so for quite a few years, I don't know if they still do or not, but when you went to buy a John Deere swather, what you actually got was a McDon swather painted green. For a while, they even had McDon building them the swather. So it would be hard to argue that they're not a good swather, because New Holland sold them, Case sold them, John Deere had McDon build them one and painted green and put John Deere stickers on it, and so that's what we ended up with. Was crazy expensive in 2018. I'll just say it, we paid $180,000 for this thing, and although I was looking now, and I'm pretty sure they're like $350. Now they're not the same model M155. They are a little bit different, but they're still just the McDon swather. So they've over doubled in price basically from 2016 to 2021, which is another, unrelated to the swather, a reason why this record high grain prices, they don't really mean much to the farmer, because everything the farmer buys is at a record high price. Okay, so I think I got the header hooked up right. This is a tricky thing. So and the reason it's so tricky is you only do it once or twice a year, right? So our farm, we're lucky enough, most of the fields are within half a mile of each other, so you can just hop from one to other, because this is a 35-foot header, so you don't want to be driving on the highway with this. But you pull it out of the shop, you put it on. The last time you done it was, 365 days ago, and you took it off. So it's quite a learning curve to figure it out every single time. There's all sorts of skid plates and things. I don't know where, if you're farming and you're watching this, I don't know where you stand. MacDon header, Honeybee header, whatever, John Deere, Kloss, whatever. People around here seem to think the MacDons are the best. They are a pretty good header. These are the lifters we bought for it 2 years ago. Very easy to put on. They come with these nuts that stay on the header, and you just click it on. There you go. And now it's on. I know we were a bit skeptical too when we first bought them. We thought, wow, that'll never work, that'll fall off. But we swathed a lot of down peas, we swathed a lot of down barley, and never lost one yet. So they got these tail whips that, depending on what heck you're putting them through, they may or may not be straight after a while. No different than the fingers. So when you're swathing down crop, you'll end up with a fetch up right here on your header, and as the reel comes around, it'll take the wee out of them fingers. We have new fingers in the toolbox. We replace them as necessary, but at the end of the day, this is a tool. It's going to wear out. It's going to be it's going to have its blemishes. If a guy gets too caught up in the aesthetics of it, you'll get nothing done. So I'm going to help Corey. We're going to finish putting these on, and then me and Buddy are going to start cutting. So they do have these fancy, all-in-one single point hookups. From my experience, these things are totally junk. They leak right away, and I don't even know how to fix them. I got to read the book. Maybe it's not that hard to fix, but the individual ones are, I don't know, better, I guess. Then the last thing you got to do, tighten your canvases. They got a fancy gauge here. You move it till that white block in there is filling the inside half. And now we're ready to roll. So this is what it looks like. I've had a few people ask me, so what do you do? You know, do you harvest it together? And yeah, definitely we do. So here's the peas. Our peas, there you can see the effect of the drought. So they're the peas are a little smaller than average, and the pods are getting pretty brittle. And the canola, when you peel open the canola, you want to see some seed color change. This canola you probably won't see that much because it is a little early, but so yeah, there's a couple that are changing color. You want to see 60-70% seed color change before you swath. So we are swathing this canola a little early, but the peas are ready, and in our experience, it's better to cut the canola than to risk it getting a frost. These buttons here, these two plus minuses, they control the tension on these springs, so which allows your header to float. This header index button, that lines up the reel speed and the canvas speed that's carrying the crop into the center. It matches that up to the ground speed. Return to cut, that makes sure every time you lift your header up and set it back down, it goes back to the same place. On this joystick, there's a picture here of what everything does, and my dad and I joked about it when we first saw that basically looks like something out of a spaceship. Quite a bit of gibberish, but when you give it the time, you can see. So you got platform up and down, you got reels up and down, you got platform tilt forward, tilt back, reels forward and back, auto steer engage, reel speed adjust. So it's pretty straightforward, and it is nice. The newer machinery, when everything's, you know, as long as it works, the integration is nice. We've actually already had this black thing comes out, and all these buttons are, I missed a spot there. Oh boy's not gonna like that. I'll get that in a minute. I better put this down so I can turn. All right, and we're back. So you can see there I missed a little bit. And one thing about misses, you'll probably do more damage with a 35-foot header trying to go back and get it, because the header doesn't fit in between the swaths, especially right there where I turn. So you end up fetching up in one side and the other. And the fact that there's quite actually a bit of weeds in here, there probably wasn't that much crop there anyways. And back to this thing, other than that, pretty straightforward. This, I believe, is the first swather we've owned where the fuel gauge worked. So that's interesting. It's also the first diesel swather we've owned. Temp gauge, pretty straightforward there. This is an emergency on-off button for the GPS, if you can imagine. Like you'd ever be going fast enough in the swather to need to panic enough to do that. This big button here is turns your reels on. Your header, this one, I don't know. They have hay headers for these, and I have a feeling this reverse button is for a hay header. If you get your hay header plugged up, because I've pushed it before and it doesn't work. This swather, you can double swath, so you can move the canvases from one side to the other. So instead of delivering out the center, you can have it deliver out that side, or you can have it deliver out that side. That's what this button is for. High-low speed, and then yeah, your forward reverse on the joystick. This is your throttle. So anyways, that's probably gonna be it. It's already 5:45. I just got the outside rounds done here an hour or so ago and got everything set up, got going. So I'm gonna swath here for a few more hours. I can get 20 acres an hour depending on how good it's going. So I might get this quarter tonight or tomorrow. But as far as any more videoing goes, that's probably going to be it. Just going to be a bit of different camera angles on the swather. And as always, everyone who watches, thank you. And we will see you all on the next one.